Axe and Bowland is an upcoming indie retro platformer. The developer reached out to me to ask if I wanted to review the demo, so I figured I would give it a shot. To start, the game has a really nice old-school 8-bit aesthetic. It harkens back to the early days of the NES and gives off some serious Bubble Bobble vibes. The main characters, Axel and Bowie, give off serious Bub and Bob vibes, and the gameplay shares a similar look to something like Rainbow Island. The music here is really chill. It is both catchy and relaxing, and fits the theme of the game nicely. The demo is the first world, broken up into 4 levels with a boss fight at the end. This is a vertically scrolling platformer. The first 3 levels have you playing as Axel. His gameplay gimmick is that he throws an axe, and when it touches an enemy, they freeze. You have to freeze the enemies in all sorts of different ways to scale the level. The first world does a really nice job of easing you into the mechanics. This is not one of those games with a long, boring tutorial that spells out everything. You just kind of get into it, press buttons, and figure it out. It's all just really intuitive, and the first few levels do a nice job of showing you the basics and then forcing you to use them in creative ways, while increasing the difficulty of what you need to do. There are a lot of design choices here that I just really liked. You are constantly vertically scrolling up, so there are no bottomless pits. But when you miss a jump, and you definitely will miss jumps, your character falls really slowly to the ground, making it easy to not have to make up too much ground. You almost have a parachute-like effect to ensure that you don't wind up at the bottom of the level when you mess up. There are one-hit deaths here, but instant respawns, and they take you back to the highest place you last were, so you're never repeating long stretches of gameplay, and you always feel like you're making progress, even when you're stuck on a particularly difficult set of jumps. When you jump off an enemy, it falls to the floor and another respawns, so you're never left without a platform, but the enemies stay frozen forever, so you can take your time setting up proper jumps and building the right bridges. The game introduced all sorts of different challenges. Some of them are pure platforming, like you'll have birds flying everywhere and you have to freeze them at different heights to progressively scale a tree or make a long jump that you wouldn't be able to make without them. There are also some puzzles sprinkled in. A few parts where you just look and there's no clear path up, but by creatively freezing enemies, you create bridges and other platforms to get to seemingly unreachable areas. The control is smooth and responsive. The jump arc was a little awkward at first, but you get used to it, and it works well for this kind of game. It's not a game where you could really change directions mid-jump, so you have to commit. You do have some control over the momentum, but not total freedom in the air. The 4th level has you playing as Bowie. This is a more action-focused stage, with the screen auto-scrolling up and enemies swarm at you from all directions. Bowie has a nice spread shot that he can shoot up, down, left, and right, and there are a lot of enemies to shoot. I had a lot of fun on the Bowie stage. It was a more frantic feel than the relaxing platform of the earlier stages. The demo ends in a boss fight. There's this giant bird that swoops at you. You have to freeze the little birds and then time their jumps so their frozen corpses fall on him to do damage. Pretty morbid, but a lot of fun. It was pretty easy once I had it figured out, but I definitely died a few times trying to figure out just what I need to do. In the short demo I played, I felt like the game did a really nice job of introducing different gameplay mechanics and forcing them to be used in creative ways. I love a good retro platformer, and this one is very unique. A big theme on my channel is comparing indie games to the games that inspired them, and although I could see some inspiration here from something like Bubble Bobble, Axe and Bowland really is its own thing. It doesn't really play like anything else out there. I don't know when this game will be released or what it'll go for, but there is a demo currently available on Steam. Check it out. It's something a little different, and I really enjoyed what it brought to the table.